For private lenders, underwriting RTL loans might take anything between an hour to 2 hours, depending on how big the package is. If you receive a loan application, an RTL loan application, could range between 100 pages, 200 pages, all the way to 1,000 pages, depending on what kind of application you have. You will have to go through each and every page and look for certain information, spot check them, evaluate, and basically underwrite that loan package. That's appraisal reports, title reports, bank statements, contractor budgets, and so on and so forth. So we can use Kolena's agent to essentially automate the entire process. Instead of 2 hours, we can do this within 5 minutes. We can give 120 checks, mainly to validate these checks against your loan documents, to the agent, and then let the agent run the entire checklist. That's essentially what Kolena can do, what process can be automated. Now, if you multiply that process, if you're working with multiple investors, we can multiply that process across all these investors. And essentially, if you're spending 5 minutes on each investor at the end of the day, you're cutting your underwriting time down by 95% just by using a simple Kolena agent. Let me jump into a quick demo, show you what we have. So here I have put together a small agent. It's very simple to mimic underwriting an RTL loan. That loan can be DSCR as well. It really comes down to what kind of guideline you're following when it comes to your underwriting. Very simple. I have dropped about 16 documents onto my agent. And the process of dropping a loan package is super simple. We can drag and drop those documents on to our agent. But let's say the agent has those documents. Shuffling through a couple of them, you can see that these documents typically come in all different shapes and forms. Different banks produce different statements. Doesn't really matter. We are able to process all of them. So it doesn't matter where the document is coming from. The agent is able to extract information from all sources. And one thing that the agent is doing is that single prompt on the right side, and that's to go through a full checklist, an underwriting checklist, and look through each and every document, find specific information, put it up against a guideline to make sure you're compliant, and come back with a warn, fail, pass result, and understand why is it that it's a warn result, why is it as a fail result. You can remediate these, ask for more documents from your applicant, and or basically understand what's happening. So if I look at the results here, 113 checks were applied against this loan package. And I'm getting a lot of yeses. This one is a no. And the reason is the file contains only 1 month's bank statement. The checklist requires at least 2 consecutive monthly statements. And that's just one example. If I scroll down, I see a bunch more no's. There's no CPL provided in the files. There's no hazard insurance provided in the files, and so on and so forth. So the checklist can be long. Yours might be longer. The agent is able to capture that and basically run it against the loan application. And we also paired it up with our investor guideline. If your investors have different guidelines and they follow different structures, matrices, you can simply attach the guideline to the agent's basically instruction right here and say, hey, I'm looking for, basically look into my guideline when you're going through these checks and make sure that I am sticking to whatever the guideline is requiring me to do. And at the same time, this whole process, running through the loan package, checking for certain information, putting it up against the guideline, this is all happening simultaneously, and you don't really have to do anything. Results comes out, you have your checklist, you have your output. You can also ask the agent for a simple report. You can say, hey, look at this checklist result. Tell me if this is a good loan package to move forward with or not. Also the type, meaning RTL or DSCR. Simple as that. I can generate a quick report on what the outcome of this underwriting is. Give it a couple seconds. The agent basically built that report for me. I'm going to create that prompt. Very simple. It says do not move forward. RTL. I can make this with more detail. And here's a report on the checklist, what this loan looks like. Simple. You have the executive summary. It says it's an RTL. It seeks 245K based on the report I just generated, based on the 113 checklist points that we put against the loan package. And the final recommendation is do not move forward with this RTL. Unfortunately, we can't take this loan in. And this is how you can use Kolena to automate your underwriting process and verify a lot of documents in a short amount of time.